PKN 329. Kyle has big news.
Well, I don't know if it's big news or...
If it's true, it's the biggest news that's ever been.
Sure. Former Israeli space chief, these Israeli names, Haim Eshed, has revealed that aliens from a galactic federation, his words not mine, have been in contact with the United States and Israel for years, but humanity just isn't ready to know this yet.
So there's no way this could be true.
Well, there's several ways it could be true. It's just very unlikely that it's true.
It's not true because Trump can't keep a secret, right? He would have told us if it were true. Like, don't you think he would have spilled it a little bit? Like,
I won the white vote. I won the woman vote. I won the green vote. We're not going to talk about that right now, though.
I mean, he might not know it. His military advisors, what was 8 months ago or whatever, lied about how many troops were in Syria. Like some country, they just straight up lied, and then they found out later it wasn't true. Like, it's totally within the realm of possibility that this is some Pentagon thing that they don't even let the head honchos know. This is like CIA, extra super secret. Because you're right, if Trump knew about this would have been tweeted, and so this has got to be even more elite. This is where we get to lizard people level.
This goes higher than we thought.
One of those Chappelle show sketches where he's like posing with the aliens and just chilling with them. Like they got their own secret handshakes.
I mean, I think it's pretty unlikely. It means that they're not mad at us.
It means that they don't want to exterminate us. It seems like if they liked us, they'd help us out with this whole COVID thing. Maybe get us maybe a cooler PS5 than what came out. That thing looks like a big air dehumidifier.
Okay, but wait, the hard drive's super fast. Maybe that's alien technology. It's faster than you can get in a PC.
It's the fastest hard drive there is. Yeah,
is that true?
Linus Tech Tip says it's true.
Yeah,
no, he's got tech in his name.
Do you believe him or do you believe the Israelis?
I don't know.
Now
I'm gonna go with Linus.
I think the most likely scenario here is that perhaps this is a bit of subterfuge to maybe get the news to stop talking about the fact that Israel just assassinated an Iranian nuclear scientist using a machine gun controlled by a satellite.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's really fucking cool. I've used remote control machine guns before, but this one was controlled from outer space.
This one had face detection. And I think I read his wife was like 13 centimeters away.
In the car with him. And
she was fine.
All she got was wet.
Well, not everyone gets horny when their wife is murdered, Taylor.
Yeah, true.
Her husband. I mean,
that's terrifying that they can see you sitting next to somebody else at a baseball game and be like, nope, 100% chance we can shoot him from here. We're right outside of Jupiter's main moon, and we're just gonna fire down and like that's so scary, so spooky that they
probably just did it from low orbit. But I get your point. No, it's just remote control. If you think about it, it's not that crazy.
Right? It's an easy problem to solve. It. Well, the gun wasn't that far away; just the satellite was.
Yeah.
Oh, you do.
I know that wasn't like a space gun.
I mean, if me and you play COD, I can shoot you from Georgia. Isn't that even more impressive if you think about it? Because space is much closer than Georgia to you.
What Kyle does on a daily basis is far more impressive than the Israeli military.
Honestly, yeah. Technology is cool, but
you're flipping me entirely, and I'm not impressed at all.
Yeah. I'm not impressed by the tech at all, honestly. But I do think that maybe they're dropping some.
You think this is a little red herring? Don't talk about that. Talk about this kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just a little coincidental that Iran is freaking out right now because Israel murdered their scientist, and they did. We all know they did, and it's a good thing they did.
I thought it was us.
We're probably involved. We were like, yeah, we probably told him where he was or something.
Yeah, it was probably the CIA and Mossad.
It's probably an M16 they'd used or something. Remote controlled M16.
They said silly. Machine gun. Which was weird to me. M4. I would guess something. Okay. I would guess something belt fed because with something belt fed, you could just be like, oh, we missed those first 3 shots. Let's send 200 more.
Probably. I don't know. If you can get headshots like that, any gun will do. I think.
Yeah. If you could guarantee a headshot, but But
well,
yeah,
I mean, Iran seems
interesting.
pretty upset about it.
Yeah, they always are when one of their scientists meets a early demise.
Pish posh. Pish posh.
I think you need to hire better scientists.
We should be able to assassinate powers with impunity.
Scientists with helmets.
We know what's best.
All right, so we know you don't like any sort of intervening wars, Taylor, and I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Do you think that we should really just hands in the pockets, head in the sand when it comes to things like Iranian nuclear scientists as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really care.
So then when Iran has a nuclear weapon and they give it to the Palestinians and the Palestinians blow it up in Tel Aviv, again, hands in the pockets, head in the sand.
You think that's going to happen?
I think that's a highly likely.
Wait, I'll answer
scenario.
that question. If Iran has a problem with Israel, I don't hear a Woody problem in this whole thing.
Yeah,
head in the sand, hands in the pockets.
Okay.
You need to go another one farther.
All right, Tel Aviv's radioactive now. We have no foothold in the region whatsoever.
But I love this foregone conclusion that if we don't absolutely bend over backwards and
not a foregone conclusion, not a foregone conclusion, just a scenario, that I'm, querying you upon. I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts if this happens?
Not going to happen. They're not going to set up a nuke in Tel Aviv.
Why not?
Why would they?
I don't know. Why'd they fly some planes into the World Trade Center?
You think that they're going to sign their own nation's 1,000,000% death warrant?
Oh wait,
by bombing Tel Aviv?
Why would Iran have a death warrant?
Because they'd be fucked. The United States would instantly.
No, Taylor, you forgot. Hands in pockets, head in the sand. That's our status now. You are president.
I'm president.
Yeah.
Oh, there's all sorts of things we're taking care of way before the Middle East. All sorts of things.
First of all, PCs are getting that hard drive I just learned about.
Yeah. Medicare for all if I'm down with you.
I'm just wondering how many of our allies need to be destroyed before the hands come out of the pockets and the head comes out of the sea.
It's funny.
Well, what do you think is the best?
I want to do this. Taylor's dodging your questions. I will answer them. Israel, nuke them. Nuke them, nuke them, nuke them. They're a bunch of takers anyway. All they do is take, and they're not even that good of an ally. England?
They do take and take and take.
I remember when we went to Iraq and had a baseless, needless war. You know who was by our side? England
Tony Blair.
Tony Blair. Yeah.
Also Canada.
And France, for fuck's sake. They came in for a bit.
Yeah. If England,
what did we pay them?
I don't know.
Israel didn't help us with that at all.
If the United Kingdom, for some reason, wants to go to war with Poland, you know what? We owe them one. I don't know what Poland did, but neither did I know what Iraq did. Let's go to war. England has been making deposits in the emotional bank account for as long as I can remember.
Meanwhile, Israel's just taking and taking.
Yes.
With both hands. It's like, what are we doing over here? What are we getting involved in all this nonsense half a world away? Like we have been tons of people in this country have been convinced we need to be really scared of Iran. It's like,
they're mad.
Are you fucking kidding me? Wasn't the last time we had any kind of direct conflict with Iran when we shot down a passenger jet and killed 270 people?
No, it's the opposite. It's when Iran shot down their own passenger jet.
What happened?
Yes, Iran was trying to shoot one of our drones or something like that, and whoopsie daisy hit their own passenger jet with some Frenchmen
straight from the Pentagon's mouth.
It looked straight out of Iran's mouth. They admitted it about a week later. It took them a while to do so, but it was the passenger list of that.
Are you talking about the one in the 70s?
No, I'm talking about 2 years ago.
Kyle's right. It was a year ago, January 8th, 2020. That I was thinking of the one in the 70s, so I'm crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking about the 70s one also, but
yeah, the passenger list looked like the United Nations. There were some Americans, some Frenchmen, some everyone. They were Frenchmen. There were some Frenchmen aboard.
Couple of Frenchies.
No loss there. Yeah. And but yeah, no, I think that
we're just entirely too involved.
And the one that
in
Taylor
nations
and I,
that aren't ours.
I just quick facts. Taylor and I are thinking of one from 1988, and I don't know why I skipped over the 2021. I guess because it's not American. It's not front of mind. But yeah, so Iran. I guess they shot down. Oh wait, I may have this backwards. We shot down theirs in 1988.
Yeah.
Why? Was it looking at us funny?
The
He was
reason,
looking at us funny.
the reason for the shoot down has been disputed between the two governments and the two countries. According to the U.S., the Vidsinis crew incorrectly identified the Airbus as attacking an F-14 Tomcat. Okay, Airbus.
That was the best we can put on Wikipedia. We control that.
Airbuses don't normally attack Tomcats.
According to the Iranians, they hate America. And
and I'm
Of
trying
course,
to
the Airbus, the natural enemy of the Tomcat.
right?
the Tomcat has few predators.
According to Iran, the cruiser negligently shot down the aircraft, which was transmitting IFF squawks as a signal that identified it as a civilian aircraft. So Iran says there was no reason whatsoever, and America says the Airbus was looking at us funny.
That's the best we
Yeah, it seems to me that there was somebody on that plane that had to die, or
Yeah.
there was just a real whoopsie daisy by a pilot.
Definitely number one would be my guess.
Oh, it's funny. I
Um,
consider number 2 just as likely, but
I think number
basing it
2
on
is the
nothing.
most likely because it seems like if we want to kill an Iranian scientist, we can do it. We just do it without taking out a whole bunch of other people because we've been killing those people for years.
That's very true.
The most dangerous job in the world, Mike Rowe needs to go over there and fucking hang out with some Iranian scientists and show them
Yeah.
scared as fuck all goddamn day long. He can rub some of that grease on his face for the cameras and be like, "This is Hamid Dadel. He is fucking shit scared all day long. Tell us, Hamid, tell him. I am scared every day, all day. The Americans, the Russians, the Israelis. There is no one. There is no place to be safe. I don't even want to be scientist."
They make me work here.
As I think about it,
So scared.
I don't think there was someone on the plane that had to die. I think that's less likely as I process it because
Yeah, very unlikely.
Yeah, I think your assassination
killing
point.
290 people doesn't get you less attention. It doesn't cover like the fact that
Unless-
there's a VIP on there. Go ahead.
Unless he knew about the Galactic Federation.
Then you'd have to kill any number of millions of people in order to cover
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
anything that it takes. That's why every major war has ever been started, the Galactic Federation.
Perhaps.
I hope that this ends up being real. That
God,
would
I
be
hope so too.
so
God, I
cool.
want to see what they wear. Don't you want to see what they're wearing? Because like all of our science fiction shows, they're like, everybody probably just wears a different uniform.
Yeah.
You know,
I bet they
same
have
look,
trousers
different
and
colors.
shirts that are separate.
They have no individuality. It's just different onesies.
You know, in
Dude.
Star Trek, they weren't separate. It was that One Piece thing. They, they call it the
Oh.
Picard maneuver. It's where he's always pulling his uniform down
Ah.
because it didn't fucking fit.
Did he pull
Nobody-
his uniform down because it fit him more flattering that way, or because
No,
it
no, no.
showed his balls less?
Because it was because so Gene Roddenberry thought that in the future all fabric would be wrinkle free. It wouldn't wrinkle, which isn't a terrible assumption. Like
Mhm.
sure, future fabric, why would it be able to wrinkle? You know, nobody likes a wrinkly shirt, and so to achieve this look in Star Trek: The Next Generation, he had all of the uniforms designed a size too small, so that they would be tight. They'd be tight fitting. And therefore,
No wrinkles.
never would show a wrinkle, right? You can't wrinkle if the shit's painted on. And Picard and Patrick Stewart, who plays Picard, is just like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. So season 2, you immediately see, oh, they got Picard in a uniform. Why ain't he wearing the uniform everyone else wears? Got his own fancy uniform now, and he does. He's got this much more comfortable thing that like just kind of drapes over the top, almost like a cape, like a shawl of a uniform. And that's what happened there. The Picard
If you
maneuver.
put me in a onesie that's too small, I'm introducing you to the boys. My
Yeah.
two testicles. That's how that goes.
Yeah.
I saw Wesley Crusher go through puberty on television. Like slowly but surely, those balls were getting lower and lower from seasons 1 to seasons 4.
Didn't everybody hate his character?
Oh, it's kind of
Because-
a meme. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I don't know fuck all about it, but I remember the guy who played him used to have a Twitter account, and the
Still
only
does.
time I would ever see his Twitter account is when it was like him saying something obnoxious, and like at one point I think even what's his name, the guy who played Picard was like, "Shut up, Wesley."
That's
Like,
the meme.
like underneath, everybody's just like he's trying to get a point about something that's probably annoying anyway, but just
He's liberal.
can't get his point out because everyone's just shut up, Wesley.
So I liked him back when I was a kid. He's a liberal, but that doesn't have any impact on.
Was he a funny
on
character or
the
kind of a
show.
throwaway?
He was my age. He was the guy that I associate with. Like I was Wesley's age when Wesley was Wesley's age. So, and he was really smart. He would often save the day with engineering skills that rivaled Geordie's. Is that the
Geordie LaForge?
Geordie LaForge. And you know, he would have good ideas to bring to the table. And perhaps as an annoying 16-year-old myself, I didn't recognize him as an annoying 16-year-old. He just seemed like a really smart science hero to me. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like the ship's genius, and he's also the suspected love child of Picard and Dr. Crusher. And so he kind of gets his way on the Enterprise, you know, right away. Like it's not long before they're making him an acting ensign, and he's driving the fucking ship. He's like 16, couldn't drive a fucking Earth car in 1997, but he's driving the Starship Enterprise, the flagship of the Federation. And you know, he's always injected into the show's earlier seasons as like the genius kid who's
The boy genius.
who's in over his head and a bit annoying, but you know, he's still. I skip his episodes, like the episodes that are Wesley centric. I find to be hyper annoying. There's one where he goes to this like planet where there's zero crime, like zero strife, like everyone is just happy to do their job, no one steps out of line. And then you're like, oh man, this is a paradise. And the girls are hot. He's hanging out with these alien bitches that are like barely wearing clothes, and an alien dude who's barely wearing clothes. By the way, they just look like blonde-haired, blue-eyed, beautiful people. They don't look like aliens. And someone throws a ball. Wesley goes long, and he falls into this like enclosure where some plants are, like some flowers or something, like a flower garden with a little mini greenhouse on top. And turns out the penalty on that planet for every rule infraction is death, and he just broke a rule. That's why there's no crime on the planet, because fucking speeding ticket, death. Fucking like spit on the sidewalk, death. Fall into the flower garden, death. And so they're stuck in the situation where Picard is like, well, we're not going to let him kill Wesley.
Early for dentist appointment, also jail. Yeah.
Also jail. Yeah, so I skip those episodes. But yeah, that's the deal.
Yeah. It's like a Luann episode in King of the Hill. Just skip it.
did they teach the entire planet that their punishment and value system is wrong, and they changed their mind? Do you recall?
I don't recall how it
seems
ends.
like they've got a good thing going.
I wish it had ended with like Wesley being decapitated, though. That would have been the best ending. Be like, well, we've got to respect their laws.
Yeah, prime directive. We can't interfere, and goodbye.
That was
Wesley.
the concern. Yeah.
See you later, then. Just fucking
Kill him off like that, like they did Tasha Yar.
It was crazy to me when she died. Back then, characters had plot armor, right? You know, characters who were major characters didn't die. You know, everyone knew if they went down with the darn red jackets or something, they were likely to die. That maybe the second they landed on the planet, there could be a beam me down malfunction and people could die. But you know, if they were main characters, recurring characters, they were very safe. And they killed her. And I'm like, all right, they just need to, you know, flash the beeping lights at her. Everything's going to be fine. And then they said they couldn't bring her back. And I'm like, but she's a recurring character. Am I the only one that remembers she's a recurring character?
She's the tactical officer. She sits behind Picard.
Yeah.
Like.
And she died, and she stayed dead mostly.
Yeah. They brought the actress back, but only to play like alternate universe versions of that character, the daughter of that character, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's so convoluted.
And I
little
guess
one-off episodes. That's Star Trek. There's a lot of like dark dimension. They'll go. There's this thing that they do occasionally, and they've done it since the original series, where they go into like the bizarro dimension, and like transporter accidents will make this happen, where like you'll accidentally bring over the evil version of one of your characters who looks exactly like Spock, except he's got a goatee. It's Spock with a goatee, and he's ruthless as fuck. Or it'll be Kirk with like an extra tight uniform, and he's ruthless as fuck.
Just see it's extra tight.
Sometimes they're in a location
Extra
that
tight.
does that. Like, oh yeah, there's you know, a time disturbance around this comet. And if you shoot the comet, then you go back 20 years. And in this timeline, a different thing happened. And shit like that happens and stuff.
I like how you guys have described like those little like, you have to beam me down and we'll take on the Gorgon, whatever it is. And like
How do
it'll
you
be
know about
three
the Gorgon?
guys in the main the main crew, and then you say there's a red shirt or two, and every time you're just like, these guys are dead, right? Like there's like the red shirt survivability rate approaches 0.
It's
right?
rather low. It's rather low. It's funny that you nailed that, by the way. The Gorgon is the alien that Kirk goes down to fight, who's wearing the green lizard suit.
Wasn't what they used to call like the Medusas, like something about like a Medusa is also called the Gorgon, or that creature, the Medusa creature, is called the Gorgon. I don't know.
Might be some Greek mythology involved,
Maybe.
but I can't.
But
I don't know about that. I know more about Star Trek made up things than Greek mythology.
What was the name
Gorgo.
of the thing?
Gorgons. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So Medusa was a Gorgo, and there were 3 Gorgons that protected something, and she was one of them.
There we go. That could have been a Jeopardy question. That's good. But what's the name of the thing that I think you both have complained about before, where it's just maybe I'm wrong, and it's only in one Star Trek series, but the room that they go into when they run out of ideas on how to keep the plot going, and it's like, we got 8 episodes, we need 4 more for this to round out the season. Oh, we got 2 in the mystery box.
Now we're going to do a Sherlock Holmes episode, but for some reason lately on the holodeck there are real life consequences to how this works out, and it's like, this is bullshit. This isn't even Star Trek. It's like it's the
Victorian era mystery now. Like it's Star Trek's way oftentimes to branch out from the constraints of a futuristic space TV show. It's like, we're all actors here, and we've been doing this for 4 years. Patrick, tell them what you used to do. Well, I'm a classically trained actor. You may have seen me in Dune, many other films actually, and I love doing Shakespearean things. And all right, and they go down the line. They're all like that. Brent Spiner, also classically trained actor and a musician, a singer. So if they can. And they can, unfortunately, they'll use the holodeck to be like, oh yeah, we were doing this program where we're all playing Victorian actors. It'll be Robin. One of them was Robin Hood. Like someone was doing a Robin Hood thing, and things went haywire, and now we're all stuck in here. And but yeah, the one he's referring to is Sherlock Holmes, because Data, so smart, he's too smart for his own good. It's not challenging for him. So he told the computer program in his Sherlock Holmes skit that he was like going through to like, hey, make me an enemy I can't defeat. So it basically gives Moriarty, who's the classic villain from Sherlock Holmes, sentience, and he quickly realizes that he's in a holodeck and starts trying to figure out how to get out of the holodeck, even though he's a character within the holodeck. At the end of the episode, because he is sentient, they can't just turn him off. They can't just delete him. So Picard tells him, and this is in like season 3, maybe 4, but probably 3. He tells him, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to leave your program running so that you don't have to like go to the dark zone, because that's what happens when you turn a holodeck off. They're just, not there anymore. We're going to leave your program running. And as soon as we get the technology to get you out of here, we're going to come back and get you. And then you'll be able to, walk the earth or
so they
whatever
lied.
planet. They leave his program running, but we never go back to it. And the funny part is they got that technology about 8 years later.
Yeah, on Voyager, right?
On Voyager, yeah.
So there's something we were supposed to do. Nah.
So and you just go to Moriarty like banging, and then you zoom out, but you still hear the banging.
Like the imagination is the limit in this room. Anything you can imagine can take form and shape and tactile response. And these losers are reenacting Peter Pan and fucking Robin Hood and nonsense.
It is strongly inferred that there's a lot of porn happening on the holodeck.
Not on TNG, though. It is inferred. It is not only inferred, it is advertised on Deep Space Nine, and that is why Deep Space Nine is better. On Deep Space Nine, on the space station, the Ferengi bartender, he owns the Holo Suites, and he rents time out. And you have to pay, which is a kind of a thing that the Federation doesn't do a lot. They don't have currency. And so it's not just implied. It's porn. You going in there to fuck. And I mean, you could do like training programs, like combat. You could do all sorts of things.
Who's doing that?
But he's selling fuck shows over there. And like, there's a really fun episode where this this new character with a very discerning eye wants a special fuck show. He wants to be able to fuck Major Kira, who's one of the attractive officers on the space station. And so Quark, the bartender, is following her around with like this holographic camera, like, you know, scanning her so that he can make a character of her. So for this guy to fuck, but then they get wind of this, and like just as she's about to like blow him, she becomes Quark's head, and Quark's head is just hideous. He's this enormous eared, spiky toothed like monster man. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, they're just fucking like crazy. So I've always wondered, the way the holograms work is it's photons of light, right? That have tactile response. So everything in there is light. When you turn the thing off, you're just in a room. You're just in an empty fucking room. Just like if you took off an Oculus Rift or whatever, you're not back in the empty room. Who's cleaning up the jizz?
Right,
Who's cleaning up all that alien jizz? The jizz is real.
Right? One of the red shirt slaves.
That's not what they're trained for. Those guys are trying to be engineers.
They're trained to die on the surface of the moon of Glaxor or whatever the fuck, right?
They die in such awful ways.
Star Wars.
I don't know.
I just made that up.
He just made it up. It's nothing.
That's generic sounding enough to go anywhere. Any universe.
Yeah, somebody's cleaning up that jizz.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? They probably have sieves and some sort of special floor to collect body fluids.
Right.
Because if there's going to be semen collecting, then, and if you're practicing fighting, you're going to be bleeding too. You know, so cum isn't the only. You would need some sort of filtration system for bodily fluids.
My suspicion is it's an incineration system, right? They can just melt that and Kyle mentioned how talented the actors were. That often surprises me, right? Because Star Trek's a good example. Like I wouldn't have watched Picard and pegged him as like a Broadway guy that can sing. And every so often they do episodes or actors just wind up singing. Right, the Buffy one that was a musical. Did you see Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Of course,
the musical.
Every episode,
all of them could sing. I think except maybe Xander. I forget. One of them couldn't sing, but that happens all the time. And I'd just be like, "Oh yeah, Amy Poehler from fucking Parks and Rec," and then she busts out singing, and you're like, "Wait, what? She's actually good." These Hollywood people are using 10% of their talents all the time.
Yeah, I think that those people wanted to be in entertainment, and a lot of them went to like these acting schools and drama schools and stuff, where like you did a little bit of everything. You know, if the dancing takes off, we'll go with that. If the singing takes off, we'll go with that. Oh, it's acting. I'm a better actor. I'm kind of quirky. All right, well, that's what we'll do.
Yeah,
I bet the guy that played Urkel could fucking bust out a tune.
I bet he can dance. That guy that played Urkel,
he can definitely dance.
Every so often he'd play like his, I don't know, reversal him, and he was like totally cool, and he played basketball. And
Stefan.
See,
he was Steven Urkel, but when he was in cool mode, he was Stefan.
And you'd see Stefan play basketball, and I don't pretend that I'm actually good at basketball or anything, but I played a little, whatever, and you could see he could play. Like the way that he moved, the way that he dribbled, the way that he did like a finger roll. It was like, this guy actually plays basketball. And
I've never seen a black man who can't play basketball, just saying, but I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah. Anyway, for some reason I thought Urkel would break that mold, but no, he can play.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing now.
He did some voice. He did the voice of Gene the Genie in a couple of episodes of DuckTales recently.
Oh, so he hit it big.
Raven's Home did some voices. Fresh Off the Boat, the Big Show.
I wonder, take a non-A-list. Okay, in terms of wealth, right? We all know that like Ben Affleck and Brad Pitt and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
Did I get it? They're all super rich. They're all doing super great. You go back a little, that Julia Roberts, like, okay, that class of actor, actress doing fantastic.
Yeah.
What about a couple notches down, right? Like Three Men and a Baby. This is an old movie. It had Tom Selleck, it had Ted Danson, and it had another guy. How's that other guy doing? Like
it's so funny that you said it. In my head, I was like, Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't Jim Belushi, was it? Who the fuck was it?
I'll look it up. I can find it. It was
Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg.
How's Steve doing these days?
Right?
It's like
How
a-
is
Gutenberg.
like there's a class of actor that's not like super famous, but they are working. They are working actors. And I wonder what kind of wealth a working actor accumulates. Like, do they ever worry about money? And by the way, it takes a good amount of money to live in Hollywood. You know, if you have 3 million, you're not set for life, perhaps, if you want to live and work in Hollywood. You need more than that, maybe.
Seems like he
Especially if
does a lot of smaller projects and like one-off things.
Still a
But-
working actor. How's it going? What is
The most recent big thing he was in 5 episodes of The Goldbergs and 8 episodes of Ballers.
I like the Goldbergs. I've seen. Shucks. At one point, I saw all the Goldbergs, the first 4 seasons. I don't remember Steve Gutenberg. So I'm going to say he didn't play a major role in that show.
Yeah.
Dr. Catman.
I don't remember the Dr.
Catman.
Catman.
Call me Catman. But
I'm picturing him. Yeah, I'm picturing a man in a cat suit now.
Yeah. I'm going to Google a picture, see if it rings a bell.
Just
Yeah,
a 6 foot set, just a 6 foot tall furry. Really, just actually, I'm literally picturing Tom from Tom and Jerry. Tom was the cat, right? Makes sense. Tomcat.
I mean, Celebrity
Tomcat,
Net Worth says Steve Gutenberg worth about 15 million, and we all know
Dude.
you can trust that.
Celebrity Network. That is the worst.
What do you think the guy from Home Alone's net worth is?
Macaulay Culkin.
Damn it!
Damn it! Damn it!
You
I've
son
been
of a
nailing
bitch.
that one. They ask me that on Twitch all the time. They ask me
Oh,
to say-
I want to
Damn,
say
ruined
I
it.
want to say it was Waggish who we got the other night. Like we were just about to play zombies, and Waggish was in the voice chat with us for a few minutes, and we were talking about it. I mean, Waggish, if this wasn't you, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it was him, and we convinced him that he didn't know Macaulay Culkin's name either, but we convinced him that we finally got around to Culkin because someone did what I just fucking did and ruined the bit and said Culkin, and I was just like, because he's a blonde haired kid. I was like, what other lie can I tell? I was like, he's actually related to Hulk. Oh no, I told him that it was Macaulay Hogan. That's what it was, and that he was Hulk Hogan's nephew, and he bought it. And I was like, yeah. Terry Hogan, the guy who plays Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, his nephew, Macaulay Hogan, of Home Alone fame. And he was like, really? I had him. It was.
You look at their
We were
faces,
all.
you see the similarities there.
Oh God, they look nothing alike. Yeah.
Muscle mass skips
So-
a generation.
Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Gene Bollea. And I was going to learn Macaulay Culkin's real name. So next time you asked me, I was going to trump you. And I like bust out. Turns out his real name is Macaulay Culkin. And it doesn't work. But so many of these actors have fake names. I don't think Tom Cruise's real name is Tom Cruise. Is it?
That I don't know.
No idea.
Do you know what Macaulay
Oh.
Culkin's brother's name is?
Adam,
No.
Rich,
You're not gonna get it. You think they named one kid Macaulay and the other one Adam?
I
Lenny.
hope it's George Foreman.
Lenny? What does he have? A Simpsons character now?
I don't know, Homer. Whatever the fuck he
That's
sounds
pretty close. Pretty close.
like. Carl, yeah. Just start going through. Barney, Mo,
I know Tom Cruise's real name.
Bumblebee Man.
Bumblebee Man,
Tom Mapother. Tom Mapother the fourth.
Nick.
Cruz is his middle name. Thomas Cruz Mapother the fourth. So I was like, I'm gonna learn this guy's real name and trump everybody, but the bit didn't work.
Yeah, because his name is actually Macaulay Culkin.
No,
That's
now
not a name you choose for yourself to be more marketable. That's a name your parents give you because they're assholes. I'm pretty sure his brother's name is Kieran.
Kieran McCulkin.
I think so. Yeah, that's off the top of my head. I think it is. He's an actor as well, and he aged better.
Did Macaulay Culkin do a lot of drugs?
Yeah,
He looks that way.
I definitely saw a picture of him that looked like he was like sunken in cheeks, kind of heroin-y. But
yeah, he looked like one of those.
Sadlo.
He looked like one of those dogs from the McLaughlin ads. In the arms of the angel.
It's
Fucking
sunken
shivering.
in really
Yeah.
deep.
All the eye boogers just hanging off of them. And you're like, come on, they don't have anybody. Just go over there and give them a little, give them one of those. Get those eye boogers off that shaky little fuck.
Like doing a McDonald's shoot where they like put little bits of cardboard in between the ingredients. They're like going over there and adding extra boogers to the eye.
It's
Mike,
just,
get some more eye boogers in this chihuahua. He looks happy.
Yeah. Now I know we're trying to make money, but 2 dead eyes on the same cat. Now nobody's gonna adopt a 2 dead-eyed cat. They need one. On
Is that like an old school 1920 splint that you put on that dog, Gene? That doesn't even look realistic. It's 2 sticks and some ace bandage. Come on. They're not going to buy this. They always buy it. I don't know where they get those sick fucking animals, but the fact that the cameraman is there, like a camera crew showed up to film these animals and nobody's bothered to get the eye boogers, makes me suspicious.
I think that was a old Simpsons bit where they're watching that old commercial and they're like, donate now or we'll kill the dogs. Like, we're playing hardball. Like something along those lines. Much funnier phrase than that. But
those poor fucking dogs. I can't. When that commercial comes on, I literally change the channel without fail. I only see it when I'm in hotels. When I'm in hotel, they must roll it constantly. If you're one of those poor people who has to watch normal television.
Yeah.
I don't mean poor as in financially. I mean, I pity you that you're watching fucking regular television. But
that's true. You get rid of hotels. I don't think I've seen that in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's still on. So is that old man with the beard who's in the African village wanting you to pay for their food.
Oh my God. Everyone in that commercial's dead of old age by now. They were running that before Zoom. Zoom was a show in the 90s after school shows. You remember Zoom, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they would run it all the time during Zoom, and what? Almost 30 years later, they're still running that shit. The same old man. That guy's
same old man.
That guy's grandchildren are Woody's age. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. There's an SNL skit where, it's that old white-haired guy with the beard in the African village, and he's just like, for just 10 cents a day, 10 cents a day. You can provide, and like one of the villagers goes, 10 cents a day. Why not $1? I could do something with $1. Yeah. What am I going to do with 10 cents? Just 10 cents a day. That's all they need.
God damn it. They were right. When you give a mouse a fucking cookies trying to shoot the commercial.
What's the second half of when you give a mouse a cookie?
They want some milk.
Yeah. Then you want it's like you give someone an inch and they'll take a mile.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So you'd immediately become angry at the Africans for wanting more than a dime
When you
a day.
give a mouse a cookie, he wants some milk. Is that an expression?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for a glass of milk then next.
Have you ever seen those books? When you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for a glass of milk. And if you give him the glass of milk, he'll ask for a waffle. And if you give him a waffle, he'll ask for syrup. And if you give him syrup, he'll ask for pancake. Like it's just the whole thing.
Wow. This book
time,
is on YouTube.
Yeah. At the time, I thought it was a silly book about, providing mice with all the treats they could ever want. But it's about, being responsible.
It's really
it's actually about race relations in the South.
It's really a life lesson not to help the unfortunate.
That book was written by Beauregard Lee, the governor of Alabama. You look at the cover, it's the stars and bars.
If you give, one of them a cookie.
Sponsored by the Southern White Pride Association.
The mouse is all done up in minstrel makeup.
Yeah.
That's just over the top. It's
The
like,
greedy mouse had asked for a cookie. And what did the boss man say? And you're just like, whew, this has not aged well.
well, I set out to write a children's book that would entirely eliminate subtext. I wanted to slam children in the face with what I was saying.
Not going over anybody's head with that one.
No.
The new episode of Mandalorian, let's just keep it nerdy. The whole PKN was real fucking good. They brought out the fucking Dark Troopers. They got Baby Yoda and
I haven't seen it.
I heard that
I heard that the Dark Trooper had been rumored before. So
yeah, they showed them. Yeah, but now they're That's the only thing I'll say.
Are they
I don't wanna
stormtroopers that hit their shots, or do they still miss like the other stormtroopers?
how about this? I'll just tell you what Dark Troopers are as
Hmm.
far as Star Wars lore. They are the souped up battle droids. So there's a couple of different
Oh.
iterations of them. The iteration that we're seeing, in one iteration, it's a power armor for a stormtrooper, but that's not what we have here. We've got like a souped up battle droid and they haven't shown them take any damage yet, but in the lore, they're made of this lightsaber resistant material called frick.
Okay.
But yeah, I know. And
Lazy.
but
That's not spacey at all.
I know. Hopefully it's an acronym. And they're, they're a much more formidable foe because obviously we haven't had any. Stormtroopers show up literally like another minor spoiler. A bunch of stormtroopers show up and you're like, yawn. Like it they show 10 or 15 show up and you're like, that ain't gonna do it. And like maybe 10 or 15 more show up and you're like, not even close. like they're gonna it would literally have to be 150 of them before you'd start worrying about the Mandalorian, right? Like it'd have to be so many that scene would happen where they're just like piling on top of him, like in that in the Matrix 2.
Yeah.
like when all the Agent Smiths are just piling on top of Keanu Reeves and trying to take him down by sheer like force of weight. That's what it would seemingly take because the guy's bulletproof and
That's
he's
the
like
big
super
thing.
skilled.
He's blaster proof. Like every time, look,
Good man.
Mandalorian gets shot almost every episode, to which he says, "Well, blasters are not a problem."
Only like special blasters are a problem.
So he has to fear the blade, the Jedi blade.
Nope, that don't work either.
What is he afraid of? Monsters or something?
Monster would eat him. Yeah,
He's afraid of
yeah.
running out of money to repair his ship every episode.
Man,
Is
you guys
it
are hitting
more
on a lot of
financial
stuff.
grind?
For those of you who have seen the episode, they're hitting on a lot of stuff right here. I can't talk. Look, I'll just say this. Quickly go watch it before someone spoils and you try to stream tonight.
Okay.
Because a lot of big things happen. A lot of big things happen. This is not one of those like stop in a small town and ask for gas kind of episodes. This is a,
Okay.
oh shit, stuff's happening. Like major new characters.
I hope that
big
chick who
turns
got
of
fat dies. Gina Carano.
Oh, I need to see her like on the street. Where's her Instagram? Let me find her Instagram. See what
Can
she's
you
up to.
trust Instagram though? Don't they have like built-in filters to make you hotter?
Which character are you talking about?
Gina Carano is the actress / UFC fighter's name, and but in the show she's like Bo-Katan or something. I don't know. Star Wars names are hard.
Dude,
man.
she's fat. And Invicta fighter, but the idea is
Where's she fat?
I will show you a picture of fat Gina. You tell me there's another word that describes her better.
Yeah, thick.
Thick. This is a chick.
Curvy.
She couldn't make weight in her prime. She missed weight a lot.
All right,
No.
I'll say this. She could
She looks
easily
strong.
lose. She's super strong.
Look at her boobs. That is a fat person. That is a fat person being held in by a corset.
That's what you're latching onto and disliking?
This is a woman who is fine the way she is, frankly.
Yeah.
I think she's attractive. However, if she lost 10 to 15 pounds, she'd be very attractive.
Oh, she could lose. She's 30 pounds away from very attractive.
How tall is she? That matters, Woody. How tall is Gina
Okay,
Carano?
true. I think she might be. I have 5'7" in my head. I'm not sure.
5'8". See, this is you knock 15 pounds off this, and this is a nice looking lady.
What? 15? Did you say or 50?
15,
Not
50. What do you think she weighs?
I think she weighs 185.
No. There's
I'm
no way.
exaggerating. She might weigh 170 though.
No, this is.
Oh, you don't think she weighs 170?
No,
Oh, she does though.
I think right here. I think this is a. First of all, very muscular woman. So, like, you can't compare her to other women. Like this, like normally, if a woman is 150 to 160 pounds, that's a real problem. But I think that she's somewhere in there. I think she's more than 150, but
But she's
not all that more than not much more than 160. Maybe she might be 162, but a lot of muscle there. She's overweight.
Is squatting.
She's overweight.
I found
And
another
look,
picture of her. I don't know how long ago this is, but look how much better she is there.
yeah. light years.
And
better.
look at the boob difference. I know, like, oh, how can you complain about big boobs? Dude, these that I'm showing on screen now, the second picture, attractive boobs. This pair of human heads that she is in The Mandalorian, that's too much.
She's got a great
I
smile.
can't get behind you on that.
Look at her arms there in the second picture. She's at some sort of movie.
See, she's doing lots of pushing exercises, getting that tricep nice and big.
No, I think it's mostly from punching women in the head.
Yeah, you know what? But you have to probably do a lot of pushing
Dude,
exercises.
she
to be good at
has
punching people, right?
the amount of weight she's gaining like a year implies that she's just gone off the deep end with her diet. This is a 1-year transformation that is just
Yeah, I noticed about it was in the episode that had a lot of Carl Weathers.
Yep.
I noticed in that one that she was wearing like this big like stomach belt, like type thing. Like it's like she had a regular belt with like a gun on it maybe, and then she had like a second belt that like went around her belly button.
Like a cummerbund or cummerbund.
Like a cummerbund, but a space cummerbund. All right, you had tactical uses. There was a phaser in there or something. There was a tricorder.
Space fanny pack.
And a big space fanny pack right in front of her gut. And yeah, look, she's clearly gained quite a bit of weight. Which is surprising because she's on the biggest TV show, one of the biggest in the world. They've got like a. I don't remember what the budget is. I think the budget is 15
right.
I'm saying biggest.
When he said the biggest, my mind instantly started to counter, and I'm like, actually, it is one of the biggest.
It's probably the biggest budget. It's
even
15
if it's
or
not
20 an
my
episode.
My personal favorite thing going on right now is The Boys, but it's probably the biggest budget. It's probably bigger, and it's The Mandalorian. It's in the Star Wars universe. It will probably live on longer. Like, it's huge. You can't knock. It's one of the biggest. It is.
Yeah, and like every day I read more and more stuff that kind of confirms my like suspicions early on that The Mandalorian is going to spawn this whole every time. The reason we're seeing stopping on so many planets and meeting so many of these side characters who are played by guest stars of like note is because they're creating a whole universe. You got to keep in mind this whole thing is being headlined by what's his name who did Iron Man. What's his fucking name?
John Favreau or something.
John Favreau is like writing.
These are alley-oops, Kyle. They're not meant to score.
Well, you hit the board.
That's all
you
I
missed
was
the nail.
But look, I'm trying to help you. You take it home.
That's all I needed. You got to keep in mind that John Favreau is behind The Mandalorian, the same guy who made Iron Man and thus spawned pretty much the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it. I think that's what they're trying to do here. They've got Mandalorian as your Iron Man, but then you've got all these other characters are your Hulks, your fucking Scarlet Witches, etc.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think that Gina Carano is going to get a show until she slims down a little bit, but Cobb, whatever the fuck, could get one. The guy who was wearing the Mandalorian armor in the Western town,
or
played by Timothy Oliphant,
who's
certainly.
I think you're about to say her. The
Rosario Dawson's character, Ahsoka, the Jedi, she's getting one.
I want that.
I think Katie Sackhoff's character, the Mandalorian lady with the boob armor, I think she's probably going to get a spin-off character, or a spin-off series, I should say, like her own whole television show, separate. And then you'll just mix and match characters amongst them, just like they tried to do over on Netflix with the Marvel TV stuff, with the Defenders, with I don't know, it was
so many of these superhero shows. Half of them, like I haven't even heard of.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Marvel money can make Kumail Nanjiani a sex symbol. You don't know this guy. Did I get his name wrong?
I do.
Yeah.
The Indian. Well, I'm sure you got his name wrong, but I heard a weird Indian sounding name and I knew who you meant.
I have it in front of me. I looked it up. Kumail Nanjiani. Something very close to that.
Oh, I think that you tried to pronounce it correctly. And I'm not saying that I can pronounce it correctly.
Anyway, they turned him into an actual sex symbol. Like, he looks amazing. And he's never looked amazing in his whole life. He was the subject of a More Plates, More Dates video. And super cool. And I say, how do they do this? How do they identify like fat old comedians that can suddenly become superheroes? And they say, well, there's Marvel money.
Are you willing to take steroids and work out?
Well,
All right.
there's Star Wars money, which has to be the parallel. Yet Gina's still a fatty McFatty 2x4.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe she's got something going on in her life. Maybe she's
She
pregnant.
better be having a baby. That would explain the giant belt / cummerbund, a space cummerbund attire.
Yeah, male non-giant. It looks like one of his powers is super smell. He's been doing his nose ups and his nose downs.
Oh my God, you're making fun of his face? I thought you were saying his workouts caused him to have BO.
No, I'm saying that his nose, he has a big nose. He has like a I broke my nose a bunch of times nose.
Yes. He looks like he could peck you with it and do some serious damage. I love the title of the article, reveals how he gotten ridiculously fit for Marvel's Eternals. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I guarantee you. Is there chicken and broccoli? Is there chicken and broccoli mentioned? I'm going to Google if the word, I'm searching for the word chicken in this thing.
Well, the secret was
Trenbolone.
Yeah.
Secret was hard work and prayer.
He doesn't mention chicken. Damn it.
The secret is absolutely like a heavy dose of testosterone, and maybe trenbolone. I don't know. I don't know why anyone takes trenbolone. Like it's a horse steroid.
You're not unselling it so far to Kyle. Unless there's a better steroid, maybe like a dinosaur steroid. Then horse.
I've read about trenbolone. I've read about trenbolone before, and maybe I'm out of date with this, and maybe I'm just mistaken. So forgive me if I'm just pants on head retarded wrong here. But I read something like the only way to get trenbolone, at least from the article I was reading or the dark web, what they were like taking these capsules that they use to inject it into horses, because they've got like, they use these guns to inject livestock, and it's like this pellet that you like and you like, it stabs into the horse, and then it auto injects like this pellet of trenbolone into the horse, and or maybe cattle. In any case, they take those pellets and they do a little at-home chemistry to like get the shit out of them so that they can then inject it into their own ass and be on trend. Like, now that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe because people are just buying this stuff, and I thought that people were buying it through clinics and stuff. Maybe I was wrong about that, and there's just somewhere where there's like a drug manufacturer, like underground, taking lots of those horse pellets and like melting them down into fucking vials.
I'm sure you're familiar with SARMs, right? But for a listener, SARMs are kind of like a steroid. I think they're less effective, but they're supposed to be, and this is where I get out of my depth, like androgen receptor specific. So it does all the good shit for your muscles and makes them big and strong. But maybe your whatever liver or kidneys or whatever, they don't absorb the steroid. So it's just like, oh, steroids, but only the good parts.
Yeah.
I'm 80% right on this, maybe even 90. So
not all hair safe.
It's not hair safe. Oh, I didn't know that. In
Trenbolone.
any case, he's talking about SARMs. But you can buy SARMs for purposes other than to use as a steroid. Maybe your hobby is experimenting on lab rats, right? So you can buy SARMs, just pinky swear perhaps, that you're not drinking them or whatever. I think it's a liquid you drink. Anyway, and you can buy SARMs like over the internet, over the counter. You can buy steroids in America that work as some kind of level of effectiveness on steroids. Just say it.
That maintains one really jacked rat. Anytime someone comes, it's like they're like, "We know what you're." Oh fuck! Wow. All right, you're free to go. This is the first time I've ever seen.
We'll leave. Just don't turn Mongo loose. Oh my god!
How'd you get that snake so wide? It has shoulders.
That's a rat that would fuck a cat. God damn!
If your hobby is experimenting on, is that something that you can just do as a hobby? Is experiment on rats in your home?
There's a YouTuber that uses that example all the time. He talks about SARMs, and his channel might have got canceled, but and he's like, yeah, so of course I'm not taking these on myself. I'm buying these SARMs to experiment on my lab rats, but had I been taking them myself, this is what I would have experienced. And then he details what obviously happened to him on these SARMs.
Yeah. This is Pinky the rat. He's noticed a bit of erectile dysfunction recently. His wife Minnie has left him, and every day is a rage-filled nightmare, which will come to an end on Friday. I guarantee you, at the Civic Center.
At the Civic Center, I've got
Be
a
there or be square.
you got a little barbell and a little fractional plate. It's only 1 pound, but that's body weight. So he's getting good. Perfect form.
He gained a whole pound of clean, contractile tissue?
Contractile tissue.
Is that how? Yeah, but it's a rat, so 1 pound is just.
Looking at Pinky's progress.
But yeah, so I wonder. I was just saying, I wonder if Trenbolone falls under that umbrella at all. Like maybe it's more accessible because it's for horses or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything. I don't want to know anything about Tren. It just seems like it seems super dangerous. Like whenever you read about it, it's just like actual mental issues that some people have. Not everybody. Some people take it and they're just like, oh yeah, I feel so focused and I feel great and I got jacked as fuck. But then like you just read so many horror stories where it's like decimating people's hair, or it's making them super aggressive or paranoid, or sexual side effects. But that's probably something that you're stacking with the Trenbolone, because like if you read what some of these people do, like there's a steroid subreddit. If you read what some of those people do on there, they're like, oh yeah, it's my first cycle, so I'm taking 700 milligrams of test and I'm stacking it with some Primo, and I'm gonna 400 milligrams of Tren a week, and also some Winstrol, and everybody's like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you doing? Are you insane? No, they don't say that. They don't say that at all.
All the gains at once.
All the gains at once. Like
the rest of my life.
A cycle like that, the people on there will be like, yeah, man, sounds like a good protocol. You're gonna get jacked. But then occasionally there'll be one guy who's even too extreme for them. You'll be like, yeah, so I'm injecting 1,375 milligrams of test a week. And they're like, dude, you're injecting 1.3 grams of test a week. Like, are you insane? Are you insane? You're doing like 10 times what a healthy dose would be. Like,
but is he getting 10 times as good?
No, it's not how it works at all. No.
Yeah, I watch pretty much every More Plates, More Date video, and I guess some small amount has major impacts, and then a little more has a little more impact, and at some point you're like quadrupling your dose to get 5% more. And if you're a professional bodybuilder, then maybe that makes sense to you. But as you quadruple the dose, you quadruple your risk. And for most people, that little benefit is not where you want to be.
Yeah, crazy people. They're just abusing some really scary drugs. If it were like, and because it's steroids, that there's like a ton of people in there who are just like, yeah, sounds like a plan, man. If it were heroin, if they were like, yes, this weekend I'm gonna do 5 mils of heroin, couple bumps of coke, do a little LSD, and nobody would be on board for that. They'd be like, dude, heroin?
That's pretty cool.
Right. Maybe if you were on the heroin subreddred.
If that guy was in the Hangout, we'd be giving him the thumbs up.
Oh, I have no problem with that. There's no heroin subreddit. There's no fucking way there's a heroin subreddit. Or at least not a serious one where people are talking about doing heroin.
No, you had me curious.
Like in a positive kind of way. There may be a heroin recovery subreddit.
This is a picture of, it says 8-year-old me thinking I'll never drink and do drugs, and it's Baby Yoda. And then it says me years later getting Narcan in a McDonald's bathroom, and it's the original like on the side with the lacy eye.
Oh, there is a heroin subreddit. It turns out you just have to spell it correctly. And for the junkies and ex-junkies of Reddit, a subreddit for all things heroin. Topics include heroin appreciation, harm reduction, withdrawal recovery, lifestyle discussions, and more.
Jesus Christ.
I like this meme I just linked. It's the weed users. You are addicted. No, I'm not. It's therapeutic. It can help me, and it can help. I can stop when I want. And heroin users. You are addicted. I know. Like
the the top picture right now, posted 3 hours ago, is what I assume is heroin in maybe the cap of a bottle or something. I don't know. I don't even know what heroin looks like. I'm realizing. I thought you burnt it in a spoon. Is it? Am I right about that?
Yeah. Well, you melt it and then you
And then you
inject
it. This guy has 10 G's of nice brown.
Nice. Nothing like 10 G's of nice brown.
Heroin doesn't look scary. This looks
Well,
like I'll give
It's
you a
never
link.
too late to start.
Yeah, that's true. I just here, I'll link the exact picture I'm looking at, and the audience is looking at. Does it look like something you might cook with? Like
That
oh
is a
yeah, you just
lot.
have to sift it like flour.
That is a
or
lot
something.
of heroin.
I don't.
It does. I mean,
Is that a lot, or is that a cupcake?
it is a
paper?
cupcake thing, but that's still a lot of heroin, I think, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a lot.
Any
Heroin.
amount of heroin is a lot of heroin, frankly.
You know what? I'm with McAfee on this, and you guys are a bunch of squares. You're not cool
Yeah.
like me. Heroin, pro heroin.
Pretty sure McAfee's in jail right now.
Oh, you gonna throw stones? Is that what I'm hearing, Kyle? You throwing stones?
I mean, I guess I can't, but I mean, I'm not in jail right now.
Yeah, you got that. What is he in jail? Tax evasion, maybe?
Who knows? He's a fucking international pirate.
Okay, well, this is clearly not just for past heroin users, because this is a photo on there of a guy getting high in an airplane.
Oh shit! Putting it right in your hand there, huh, bro?
Ooh,
in the
ooh,
bathroom.
And is that an airplane bathroom?
The title of it was Mile High Club. Got 2 rigs and a gram of dope through TSA, no problem. On my way to California for rehab.
Well,
He's
at least
on
he's
his
getting
way
help.
to rehab, and he's shooting up. That's
I mean,
a story he'll be telling in
makes
rehab.
Because a lot of people on their way to rehab are just playing it like a party, like the last hurrah kind of thing.
You know what?
Yeah.
So for rehab, it's still a bad idea, but I particularly don't like it when it's diet. Like, ooh, I'm starting my diet on Monday, so nothing but cupcakes until then. And I'm like, really? Really? You gonna dig yourself a little extra hole because you start your diet? Even if you are starting your diet on Monday, how about between now and Monday, we phase into it? You really want to do cupcakes and chocolate right now?
Yeah, they clearly do.
Okay, they're addicts.
I'd way rather be addicted to cupcakes than heroin.
Well, I don't know when I'm doing it. Jackie said she doesn't have the ingredients, but when we hit the $2,500 mark for my fundraiser stream, I agreed to eat Jackie's chili on stream. So,
Oh no,
Ooh, why would you punish yourself with that?
trying to help
I don't
out.
understand, frankly. Like, I don't be mean here. How does she make chili bad? Because my chili's so goddamn good that like if there's even a little bit left, I freeze it. And like my parents last time they were over here, they were like, "Is that your chili in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, and it's mine. If you want some chili, we'll make you a batch." But like, it's
All
so
jokes
easy to make chili.
aside, I guess there's beans in it, and then she buys a powder that I don't like, and I think that you mix that and it turns right. It's garbage, right? This is like freeze dried chili nonsense.
You don't buy the powder. You buy the spices that go into the powder. Like you make your own chili seasoning. It's just like 5 or 6 spices. It's like chili powder is one of them.
For all
Well,
my
garlic
complaints, in most regards, she's not a bad cook. She makes good, healthy meals, and she seasons it, and I'm happy. But there are 2 areas. This woman doesn't realize that cookies are to be made from scratch. From scratch. You do not just slice cookies off pre-bought cookie dough. That's not even cookies.
True.
And chili from a store-bought powder is not. It's not where it's at.
I mean, I could send a list of spices.
Dude,
But not until after the challenge is complete.
yeah, I think they want to watch me eat the bad chili. Maybe we'll do a redemption stream where she makes good chili.
We could have a chili cook-off.
Because I do like chili, just not.
Oh, that would
hers.
actually be fun if we had a chili cook-off.
And we're all so it's our own
I can
appraisal.
just imagine Jackie makes a gallon and a half, and at the end of it, there's like 1.47 gallons left. Kyle's all gone.
I love making chili. It's so good.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of food,
Hope you guys enjoyed this early PKN.
I thought
Guess
it
what?
was
You get
good.
You get an early PKA tomorrow.
There it
Yes, you
is.
do.
Go patrons. All right. PKN 329.